All right, it's time for the moment you've all been waiting for. This is our panel. I was going to say live panel, but the whole thing's been live. This is our panel discussion. You've already met Billy Chandler and me, Jeff Steiner, and we also have one of our engineers, Aaron Wolf. Billy, would you like to start by, you've introduced yourself. Do you want to tell us any more about how long you've been here, what you do here?
Sure. Thanks, Jeff. As you know, Chandler Systems is a family-owned company. We've kind of divide the roles up through the family, but my dad is more responsible or takes the lead of working with engineers. My brother is more focused on working with production and purchasing to make sure we have all the materials we need. And my role has been more generally working with sales and marketing, or more of a general manager type function. As we've continued to grow, it just takes a lot of effort to make sure we have the right people in the right spots.
Absolutely. I'm one of those people, I like to think. I've been here 7 years. A lot of people think that I'm 15, but they're like, how have you been here 7 years? I'm 35. We don't need to get into it. Anyway, yeah, I've been here 7 years, pretty much in the same role. Customer service, technical support, inside sales. There's Tony Dobb, me, Kevin Fisher. We all are the people that when you call in about nearly anything, you'll probably talk to one of us. So any problem you may have or questions about pricing and availability, product questions, you'll usually go to one of us. And so I'm happy to be one of the people on that team. Also have been helping with training lately. All of us kind of take a part in those roles as well. Aaron, you're the new guy here, not the new guy, but new to the viewers, and have actually been here longer than either of us. Yeah. Possibly both of us combined.
Yeah, I've been working with Bill over 20 years, and so it's been a great relationship there. It's a lot of fun. Bill's always been a lot of fun to work with on engineering projects. Personally, I do electronic hardware layout, so the circuit boards, designing those, laying those out, working with some of our other engineers on physical component layout to make it match up with the final product. And also do some code writing for some of the products. So that, and just working with the other engineers on the various projects that we have going on. So
awesome. I just want to say, I think we have a really impressive engineering staff here. I've never worked at, I've worked at other manufacturing companies, but never one that has such a focus on R&D. And largely because our, Bill Chandler, our president, is himself one of our main engineers and designers and inventors. Yeah. And so I've always been impressed with you and your team, and just the brain power that we've got there. Aaron is the guy that when I get questions in customer service and sales, someone has a technical question, something that might be over my head, I go to Aaron and he always has the answer. So speaking of which, we're getting some questions, and I'm going to start off with one going to you. This is someone named Aaron R. From Wisconsin. He says, I see the controller is UL listed. Thanks for noticing. It is. And he asks, it's UL listed approved for indoor-outdoor use. Is there a recommended temperature range for outdoor use?
Yeah, really the components themselves, they're rated down to minus 40 degrees. But, I mean, really, what really matters is your water. How low. So freezing point is where it really starts to matter. So as far as the pump controller, it does have temperature sensing on it, and it can notify you when the temperature is getting down to a concerned area. A lot of the areas of the country right now are experiencing this polar vortex, and so what that allows them to do is if they notice the water temperature getting low, the drop will notify them that they could start running their water, and a slow, steady stream. The groundwater temperature is obviously warmer than freezing, and that will should keep someone up and running in that situation. So,
any issues with high temperatures in some of the southern climates when it's not this time of year?
No, there shouldn't be any issues with high temperatures. Again, on the electronics and that sort of stuff, it's rated 185 degrees Fahrenheit. So, I mean,
if it gets that high, you have other problems.
That's exactly right. Yeah. So,
wonderful. Yeah, I know here in Ohio, everything's in a basement, but we do have a lot of customers in other parts of the country that they're putting stuff outside,
Yep.
which lately has been has caused some issues. Someone's asking, this is one more for you, and I'll try to spread it out a little more. What is the max horsepower motor that can run on this switch? Most pressure switches are rated to 2 horsepower.
Yeah, that's a good question. These pressure switches are single phase, so just single phase motors only. It can have a start winding, so it can be a 3-wire single phase pump. But full load amps is 30 amps on, we have a 25 amp model and a 30 amp model, both 115 volt and 230 volt. So that makes 4 models total. And that ends up being a maximum of around 5 horsepower for a pump. So.
Alrighty. Billy, I'm gonna have one for you here. This person's saying product looks great, but what do I say to the customer that how do I sell them on this versus just a traditional? They've had a traditional FSG switch for years and years. It's worked fine. How do I convince them to buy this pressure switch?
Right. Thanks, Jeff. You know, you kind of go back a little bit to some of the things I spoke about, yeah, the FSG switch works fine until it doesn't, and then it's failed and you don't have water.
Right.
So one of the real nice things about the drop pump controller is that it's kind of monitoring everything so that you're not ever going to get caught off guard by walking home or opening the faucet to not have water. So that would be one of the main things that I would focus on over an FSG switch.
Alrighty. Man, the questions are pouring in. Thanks, guys. We appreciate it. I'm going to give one to myself here. Someone says, if someone installs this without setting up the hub, is there any default operation without being associated with the hub and or account? And I might have you weigh in on this as well. Our drop devices do need the hub in order to operate. Now, the hub does not have to be connected to Wi-Fi. They can function on their own, independently. They will talk to each other on their own proprietary local network. But I do believe, from an installation standpoint, when you're installing a drop pump controller, you do have to have a hub connected to that.
That's right.
Yeah, you're absolutely right on that. Just to give that a little bit more depth, the hub, if it should go away, if you set it up and it should go away, the pump controller will continue to run just fine with the settings it has. So we tried to design it very robust and make sure that we covered all our bases. And one is, water is very important to a homeowner. And we wanted to make sure that as long as we had power, the pump controller can run and keep the water going to the homeowner, even if it can't do like the notifications out to them or anything else. And so, yes, you have to have a hub to initially set it up. It does have some like a 30-50 on-off default settings in it, but in reality, you don't really want to use. If you're not going to have a hub, it doesn't bring you all the other features and benefits that you really want a pump controller for.
Right, but if something catastrophic happens and the hub loses power, it will still keep working.
Yes, it'll keep running.
So it's not, if something were to happen to the hub, pump controller is going to keep doing its job. But from an installation standpoint, yes, you do need to install a hub along with it. And I will also add, only one hub per installation. So a lot of our people that really want to get all the benefits of the drop system, they're putting in a pump controller. They're also putting in one of our softeners or filters or both. Or maybe they're putting in a home protection valve. Any amount of drop products that you install, you only need one hub per installation. So that's why we offer the pump controller both in a kit that includes a hub as well as by itself. You might have a customer that you've already sold a drop product to. Now they need a new pressure switch. You can add on that pump controller to their existing hub without having to install another hub. So one hub per installation. Aaron, I'm not trying to pile them all on you, but we're getting some technical questions here. Tom from Northeastern, hey Tom, he says, can the drop pump controller be installed in high moisture applications, i.e. a crawl space or a well pit?
Yes, it can. And again, part of the UL approval that it has is for its environment. A 3R rating is, outdoor. This is talking about humidity, but yes, it would work fine in that situation.
Alrighty. Right. Someone wants to know, will a stop cycle value set at a constant 50 psi work the same with the drop pressure switch as it would with a normal pressure switch? I'm going to say yes. Aaron,
Yep.
if I misunderstood the question, text us and let me know. Yeah, if you tell it 50 psi, it's going to turn out 50 psi. I will add, we mentioned, hey, it's so easy to just set your cut on and cut off, and that's true. You set it in the app, and that's all you need to do. You don't need to get in there with a screwdriver and twist screws and things to adjust your cut on and cut off. But if you are ever changing your settings, say their old switch was 3050, you want to set ours to 4060, you do need to adjust the precharge in your pressure tank. You guys probably know that if this is what you do, but I will throw that out there. Someone wants to know what all comes in the box when you order a pump controller. Controller itself, hub, tank tee, nibbles, etc. Good question. We offered a few different ways, as I mentioned. If you buy just the pump controller itself, you see what you saw today. It does not come with the nipple, but everything from that, what do we call it, the nut and the stainless union with the nut and the pump controller itself. You can buy it just like that if you already have a drop hub. If you do not currently have a drop hub in your installation, you can get a kit that comes with the pump controller and the hub and remote. We also offer some other configurations if you want all the benefits and you want it with a flow meter or with leak detectors as well. We offer package deals that come with all of those things. We also offer them a la carte. So if someone wants to put in a pump controller or they already have one and they want to add some leak detectors or they want to add a meter to it, we sell those individually as well. So you don't have to buy the kit. You can stock those separately if you're a distributor. Put in the pump controller, and if someone down the road wants leak detectors or they want to add more leak detectors, you can put up to 32 leak detectors, right, per hub?
Yes.
So I don't know I think we have had a couple people put that many. I have 4, but my house probably isn't as big as yours. You can put up to 32 leak detectors on a hub. So those can be, we have package deals, but we also sell them separately. Someone wants to know, does the controller have EMI and surge protection?
It is built in just to be a robust design. That's part of the reason we had a contactor in it. Certainly there's electronics in it where you have to consider those things. There is surge suppression in the circuitry on the circuit board to try to mitigate surge issues. But also the contactor itself, controlling the power to the pump, all that just kind of is working together to protect really your water being available to the end user. So, yeah.
You mentioned that contactor, which you guys, of course, saw in Bill's breakdown video there. I will add on from our standpoint, one of the things that sets this apart from some other pump controllers on the market is it's not purely electronic. We've got a robust physical square D contactor like you know and love, and we're pairing that with state-of-the-art electronics. There are some competitive items on the market that are purely electronic, and there's some disadvantages to not having that contactor there. Makes ours a little more robust.
Yeah, I just thought I'd mention, they asked about EMI. It has been tested and, is FCC approved for use. So, I mean, we do go through those testing procedures, not just with UL, but also to FCC standards for radiated and emitted magnetic interference.
You're talking about electromagnetic interference?
Yeah, they mentioned EMI in that question.
Got it. Yeah. That's why I threw it to you, because I was like, on the spot, I wasn't exactly sure what that was referring to. So that's why I go to Aaron with the tough questions. Billy, we've got some people who want to know about warranty. Do you want to go over the drop warranty?
Sure. The drop pump controller comes standard with a 5-year warranty that covers all manufacturing defects. I'm not familiar exactly with what other products offer, but the 5-year is pretty much our standard warranty for valves and things like that.
Yep. So our warranty covers manufacturing defects. We hope you don't come across any manufacturing defects, but if you do, we always stand behind our products here at Chandler Systems. Call in. You'll get a hold of me or one of the other customer service people, and we'll be happy to take care of you. Speaking of which, people want to know where they can purchase these items. How can I get my hands on a drop product? If you have a Chandler Systems distributor, many of you watching probably are distributors of ours. Call us, buy the product. If you're a dealer, if you have a distributor, call your distributor. If they sell our products, they have access to drop products, whether they know it or not. Ask for it. We'll make sure you get it. If you do not have a distributor, call us or visit dropconnect.com and shoot us a message on there. We'll be happy to connect you with a distributor in your area. Let me make sure I'm getting through these. Aaron, someone wants to know about the thermal overload on the app. How the functionality of that.
Yeah, that's a good question. The thermal overload, it works. It has a current sensor inside, and it's electronic thermal overload. So it emulates a class 10 overload, if you're familiar with that. And basically, as pump current is used, you'll see the overload number increase. If it hits 100%, if you're watching it in the app and you actually see it hit 100%, that's when your pump will shut off. And it'll stay off until it cools back down to the 80% level. And so that's based off the full load amps that you enter. You set on the advanced page for the pump controller the full load amps that your pump is. And you want to get that accurately and usually off the nameplate of the pump if you can. If for some reason you can't get it off the nameplate of the pump, you can take it off based off of just normal running usage when you know everything's working fine. Kind of look at what your pump current is at, and you can set your full load amps according to that. But otherwise, yeah, it just continues to help protect your pump beyond what just a straight circuit breaker could, certainly beyond what a FSG switch could protect against.
All right, thank you, Aaron. Someone named Bill C. from Ohio says, these products are amazing. Why wouldn't everyone want one? I don't have an answer. Why would you not want every one of these products? Bill. All right. All right. I might not completely understand this question, Aaron. Someone's saying, could the pump controller also be used as a low cut switch to shut off a motor in the event of low pressure? She says this is an add-on to the last question, particularly speaking towards a reverse osmosis system where this switch is transducer based, and will it work with a 4 to 20 milliamp signal?
Definitely it cannot work with 420 milliamp signal. At this time, we don't have any.
Are they talking about like dry contacts or what?
Well, 420 milliamp signal is a continuous level signal that you might have with a level transducer or maybe even a TDS meter. But in this, the pump controller really is designed around a well pump. So I think you're kind of pushing it to try to put it into that application. And as of right now, the default operation is a pump up situation where it's increasing pressure to shut off rather than, I believe that was asking if it could shut off when the pressure gets low. So I'll say not right now with the pump controller, but at the same time, we are always expanding drop products. We actually are definitely looking into RO controllers in the future. So that's the other nice thing about drop is that it's an ecosystem of products, and we're just continually working to fill out that ecosystem and cover all your water needs. Really is where we're headed.
Good deal. Bill, someone wants to know, how do I get on the drop dealer list? On our website, if you've been to the website, homeowners can search a zip code, and we pull up a list of dealers in their area. How do they become part of that?
Yeah, thanks, Jeff. On the Drop Connect website, there is a place to request to basically be a drop dealer. If you want to submit a request through that, we then kind of evaluate the area, work with you to get a list of the different zip codes you cover, and then that information would be added to the site. So if a homeowner does do a search, your information is presented to them.
All right, and I think this is our last question. Unless if you have any more questions, text them in now. Or if I missed one, Tammy, let me know. And viewers, text Tammy, she'll let me know. Last one is, this person says, I install a lot of pumps with variable frequency drives. Is this pump controller available, or is it compatible, rather, with a VFD pump? Aaron?
Yeah. That's also a great question. The answer is yes, you can use it with a VFD. Certainly, if you know what a VFD is and how all that works, it's not going to have, drop is not going to have the same level of functionality and protection that it can have when it's directly running the pump. But with a VFD, you can still install it ahead of the VFD. That's actually in our manual on how you can do that. And there's a VFD setting on the advanced page. And what that basically allows it to do is it allows it to still shut off the well pump if there's a leak. It still allows it to monitor water if you install the flow meter, and still make smart decisions about protecting your property. And so with the VFD, if the pressure either would get too high and the VFD is not shutting off like it should, the pump controller can shut it off due to that. Or if there's a leak type situation, the pump controller can shut off due to those and shut down the VFD and notify you. So, yep.
Awesome. Someone wants to know about the minimum differential setting.
That is a good question. I think we allowed it to go pretty low. However, I'm off the top of my head. I think just a couple PSI we're allowing it to be for the differential.
And what about the differential between cut on and cut off? Do we specify?
I'm pretty sure the app, again, off the top of my head, I haven't looked at this in a while, but I'm pretty sure if you get too low, the app just warns you, are you sure you want to do this? But oftentimes when we've done the design on these products, we try not to absolutely say, you can't do this. We just try to warn you, hey, this might not be a good idea, but if you really know what you're doing and you really want to set it up that way, we let you do it, you know.
Yeah, I do know the app does. I've played with it quite a bit. I try to see if it'll let me do stupid things, just in case. And it's pretty smart. It tries to warn you at least. If you say you want your cut on to be higher than your cut off, it won't let you do it. Obviously, your pump has to turn on at a lower pressure than it turns off. Things like that. And I think it does give you some kind of warning if your range is too small or too large between the cut on and cut off. James from Hall's Plumbing in Statesville, North Carolina, says, can this device function as an underload device for low yield wells? I guess that's the whole question.
Okay. As far as an underload device, what it will do, it does have run dry detection, and I hope that would cover what you're asking for. So basically, the way the run dry protection works is every time your pump runs normally and shuts off normally, basically the pump controller remembers what it looked like and kind of keeps several of those in its memory, averages them out, and then if you would get in a situation where you have an underload, assuming that's a run dry, weak well situation, the pump controller basically gives it some time to see if it's going to get back to normal, but after about 20 seconds, it'll decide, okay, this is a run dry situation and it needs to shut off and protect the pump. And it does that by looking at real power. Again, we're trying to do things smart. We're measuring voltage, we're measuring current. We're actually even measuring the phase of angle of both of those, and so we can see real power going to the pump. And usually when you have a run dry situation, that real power drops off more significantly than even just motor current. And so we're using that to be smart about and do our best to shut off and protect your pump with the run dry feature.
Absolutely. So, and that's why we're calling it a pump controller, not just a pressure switch, because it does so much more. You're getting all these pump diagnostics. And that in our area of things, when people are asking, how do I sell a homeowner on this product versus a $20 pressure switch? The pump controller itself, they're trying to justify how much more am I paying for these extra features. Well, when it comes to the replacement cost of a well pump, you're paying a lot more for the switch itself. If it protects your well pump from burning out once,
yeah, Jeff. I mean, that could be thousands of dollars to have somebody come in and pull your pump and put a new pump in.
Yeah. So from the sales standpoint, we really push the potential savings of protecting your pump from burning out, potentially protecting your home from flooding, right, and all the costs associated with that. We're still, man. I warned people that it was our last question, and they keep coming in. So I think we have time for a few more. We've got two that kind of go hand in hand. Someone wants to know how close does the hub need to be to the switch, and then someone else asked, what is the range of the hub to the Wi-Fi? I'm going to try to answer this, and Aaron, you can correct me if I'm wrong. As far as the hub to your Wi-Fi, a big part of that is going to be the range of your Wi-Fi router. Anywhere in your home that you have a Wi-Fi signal, the hub should be able to connect, no problem. Connecting your hub to your Wi-Fi is just like connecting any other device to your Wi-Fi. So where that does come into play, a question I get sometimes is with people, our friends down south who don't have basements, they're putting things outside, or they're putting things maybe in a well house. That does come up. I'm putting a pump controller. Say this person's putting a pump controller in their well house, and it's X number of yards from the home. So that switch needs to get back to the hub. So they either need to have a Wi-Fi signal at their well house, or the hub needs to be in their home and have range. So that goes in this next question, Aaron. Can you speak to the range of assuming the hub is in, it's got no problem hooking up to my Wi-Fi, but what's the range from the hub to the pump controller?
Yeah. Wireless range is always a tricky question, for sure. We can tell you we've tested it outside, line of sight, over 500 feet. But in an indoor situation where you have walls and basement, possibly cinder block, whatever, that can vary significantly. And really, what I can say is when you're setting it up, a couple 100 feet, if you're going to an outside building, should be a reasonable distance that you can reach. We do have drop remotes, and if your distance is a little bit, it just isn't quite making it, you can put a remote in between, and those can extend your range of your drop link network. And the other thing is, if it's working when you set it up, it has the ability to lower the data rate. So that is kind of a technical thing behind the scenes that you don't even see happening. And that when it does that, it actually gives it a little more range. So as long as it's working when you set it up, we really believe that it will continue to work well for you the entire time. So,
yeah. Unfortunately, in the hypothetical situation that I mentioned, where you've got a pump house out in the backyard. Fortunately, you've got an exterior wall for your home and an exterior wall for the pump house, but you've got a lot of open space in between.
That's right.
So typically, I've had a few people in the Carolinas that have put these in that kind of scenario. Hub is in the home. Their Wi-Fi might not be reaching the well house, but the hub is in the home, and it has no problem reaching out to that well house to get to the drop products there. Last but not least, Billy, do you want to talk about, and this is really for both of you, Drop is a complete ecosystem of products. People want to know, what else do we have in the works as far as new products?
Sure. As Aaron mentioned, we're always working on new things. My dad's constantly dreaming up new ideas and things that need to be added to the Drop network. One of the neat things that I like to talk about that's coming out is we got a lot of requests from people that installed some of these and said, this is really cool, but I manage a lot of them. I want to be able to kind of see them better than going through my app and connecting to each one individually. So we are developing a web app that enables people to manage multiple users through a browser much more simply. So if someone's sitting in their office and they want to pull up all the systems that they're connected to through their desktop, they can pull up all that information and see all the notifications and everything in one area. Aaron, I don't know if you want to talk about maybe from a product angle of new stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. The Drop commercial, I would say, is the newest thing. Certainly the commercial valves are kind of initially released, and that's what the next training is going to be about a month from now. But continue to expand that with Drop Sidekick. We are setting up to release that here very soon. Drop Sidekick on a commercial. Obviously, we have that in a residential system, but on a commercial, it just will allow higher flow rates, more commercial rated flow rates. And it's a little unique. We're going to actually be putting the valve on the bottom of the tank on a tripod type of tank with a tripod base. And really, it's going to give a lot of neat advantages to other systems. Water savings, for sure, being able to drain the tank without, for the air charge cycle, without needing a Venturi nozzle. And just being able to multiplex so you can get multiple tanks side by side to get whatever flow rate your system might need or have, and just be able to treat whatever you guys come across in the field that people need treated. So
That's a very exciting product. I know since I've been here, the Sidekick is the most widely popular iron filter we've come out with. And iron, if you know us, iron and sulfur filters, for better or worse, are kind of our thing. The Sidekick has been hugely popular, and people are always asking me, can I get a commercial Sidekick? And we're like, no, you can't. Well, now pretty soon you'll be able to, and drop as well. So a drop commercial Sidekick, it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be incredible. Last question. Tammy says, for real, this is the last question, I promise. Someone asks, is drop compatible with other smart home technologies such as Alexa? It is compatible with Alexa. Anything you want to add about that?
Yeah, Alexa is the only one we work with right now, but a lot of that is driven by demand. So certainly if you have needs or have people asking you for things beyond Alexa, which you can, I think the best thing to say about that is just check it out on our website as far as how it works with Alexa. But, you know, if you really have other people asking, hey, can it work with this or that, we'd like to hear about that, because oftentimes we have a lot of projects going on and we prioritize based on demand. And so you can have a little input and feedback to us by letting us know what's important to you. So
go to dropconnect.com. You can contact us through there, or of course give us a call. Send us any questions you didn't get answered today. Send them over. We'd be happy to shoot you an email or give you a call back and talk to you about it. And as Aaron said, anything you guys think we need to look into, let us know. Billy, any closing comments?
No, I don't think so, Jeff.
All right. Well, hey, thank you so much, you guys, for tuning in. Don't forget, we've got in 1 month, the Drop Commercial live training event is coming up. You can't sign up yet, but if you are at this event, we're going to let you know when it's available. So keep an eye out for that notification in your inbox. Tell all your friends, and we hope to see you then. Hey, thanks again. Bye.